Hey fellow Spartans, it's your friend Monkel Mayhem, the entirely blue Spartan. So I found something obnoxiously stupid on Twitter. The usual cesspool of brain cell killing content, and I found our boy LateNightGaming making one of the dumbest tweets I've seen all week. 343's gotta do more to protect and raise up their Hispanic fans. This was disgusting to see. He's talking about Rebecca's tweet in which she complains about Hispanic racism on Reddit, and the lack of a Hispanic nameplate in Halo Infinite. Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with this. Why the fuck is it 343's responsibility to protect the Hispanic community, you silly goober? 343, in case you haven't noticed, are game devs. It's kinda not exactly their prerogative to be, what? Policing the Halo subreddit? What do you want from them exactly? 343 has a job, and it's to produce Halo fucking Infinite. And they can barely even do that. Come on, Late Night. You're smarter than this, right? Or does your girlfriend have your balls on this one? I'd argue it's not even 343's job to give us a pandering nameplate, but we'll save that one for a bit later. Let's continue with this comment section, shall we? Linda. How is this 343's fault? I agree. How? This was on Reddit, you total smooth brain. 343 has about as much control about what goes on at Reddit as they are capable of producing content. So not a whole lot. Big optimists? Bro, what? Hispanic people don't need protecting, they're not children. That kind of attitude shows a view of them not being able to handle things themselves. Fucking A, man. Plus, this is the internet. If someone is saying shit that really bothers you, you can just block them, but no, Hispanics can't do that apparently. They're just so defenseless. It's not like they can just mute the conversation. Zazar. Yes, let the white savior tell Hispanics they need protection from the white people at the top. Turtle Man. Fuck, that's a cool profile pic. No, it absolutely does not have to. This was clearly a Reddit problem. What the fuck 343 got to do with this? Y'all so fucking dramatic on this app, I swear to God. Dramatic indeed. Quarrel. No one cares. Perfect. You got it nailed, Quarrel. Mr. Yours truly. Laugh my ass off, a game company needs to protect a minority group. I agree with you, bud, but a JonTron gif? Really? What a vanilla bitch. Zolid Snoke. Almost zero companies care about us anyway. But it's like I get into play and get blasted with messages of how cool these certain groups of people are and special. And I sit there like, if you don't care about me, don't tell me to do the same. I kinda don't care, but yeah, yikes. This guy makes a good point. While I'm sure there's people in 343 that want to do good things for people in the community, 343 is still a corporate entity with a bottom line, and that is to make fucking money. And pandering to minorities and LGBTQ? Anyways, any corporate entity wants nothing more than your money, and if pandering to people gets them good boy points, they'll fucking do it. So this bitching about nameplate is just a farce. There's bigger things to worry about in the Halo community than if 343 is properly pandering to everyone. And if you're somebody that's actually got a stake in this issue, you're weak-minded. Because you fell for it. You fell for the pandering. I also noticed that Masters 1337 was getting into the discussion as well. They still can't explain the Bonobo incident, let alone take a stand against racism. They won't do anything that upsets fans no matter how vile the fans can be. But they did explain it, you fucking peanut excrement. Basically, they had a tag editor or some shit and the file defaulted to Bonobo. And again, why is it 343's job to stand against racism? That's what you social justice tards are supposed to do. 343 just needs to finish the damn game. Not get Unishek to stand up on a soapbox and regurgitate the racism bad mantra, which I'm sure they will get him to do now because of you pathetic whiners. I replied to him on Twitter basically informing him the whole tag editor thing, and this is what he had to say. They didn't explain shit. A community member who didn't know what they were talking about made an excuse and everyone ran with it. Bonobo isn't even used to make descriptions in UI. It's all server-side, which is why the game was fixed without an update to the game. Also, people are using Bonobo right now and nothing in it generates the name Bonobo when creating a new file. Okay, 1337, you got me. 343 is the KKK. Oh, the people of color in the Halo community are doomed. Soon they'll release a nameplate for my people named Savage or Redskin and it will be all over from there. You people would never last a day in a truly racist time period. if a nameplate mistake is a big enough controversy for you. Sure, there's some racist agenda with 343, the very same studio that currently has nameplates for other races in the game. Your argument is a fucking contradiction. If 343 was racist, there wouldn't be positive content in the game towards races, period. Masters 1337, your logic is as clusterfucked as your SPV3 campaign sandbox. Here we have a juicy debate over the subject. Really, with all this shit 343 has to deal with, this is the most important to you. You are giving 343 grief over a nameplate. Yes, if they are going to pretend to be diverse and all that BS for one group, then all groups should be included. It's their fault for doing that. They could just stick to stuff within the lore, but they can't even do that. Diverse would be treating everyone equal. Everyone. Yes, and they aren't treating everyone equal. Where is my French and Native American nameplate? Why don't you ask for one then? You do understand being equally treated means you're just as equal to ask. Nah, I shouldn't even need to ask. The whole thing is dumb. People got the wrong priorities. If you don't ask, then how do you expect them to add it? You imply you're not being treated equally, yet you take no steps to use your equally valid voice to ask for something. Equality isn't them just bending over backwards for you specifically, or else that wouldn't be equal. His point is it's really stupid. You realize every company that pushes diversity is just for social brownie points. It's very disingenuous, and yet people still crave it. How many people actually give a damn? Guarantee most people just want infinite in a better state. You do realize both can happen though. Adding emblems and charms doesn't take as much dev time or manpower, and it actually has meaning to these communities. Also, this notion that companies do it for social XYZ is so false. Individual employees can absolutely care. Sure they can, but they only get put in due to social pressure, for sake of not causing a dumb uproar on Twitter over nothing. These are literally the most made up problems ever, especially for a game. If you think devs care about Twitter, you are really deluded. If devs were scared of Twitter, Halo would actually have content right now. They couldn't care less. They're not socially pressured to do anything. They're a video game company. Stop being scared of boogeymen. And right there, his argument just fell apart. Why are all of you bitching about this nameplate on Twitter if they don't care about what goes on Twitter? I don't know why I expect logic from these people anyways. And here we have a word from our Hispanics. Juan Megan. I'm Hispanic. No thanks. That shit is cringe. People on the internet can say racist things. We get it. That doesn't mean I want 343 to try to cater to me in a weird, racially reductive way. Read the thread. Most of those posts were roasting 343. What passes for racism now is mind-numbingly stupid. I'm Hispanic and I don't need a nameplate. This is why pandering to groups is dumb. Every group that's not repped will cry about it. These people make golden points. As an Aboriginal person, I could care less if I have a stupid tiddly-wink ass nameplate in a video game that has my people's iconography on it. Now, if by this point you have me pinned as an asshole just because I'm not sympathetic towards your little nameplate dilemma, then you have me completely wrong and need to get your head unplugged from your ass. While 343 did kinda bring this onto themselves, that still doesn't make it their duty to ensure every single identity feels validated. If it was, then they'd be making nameplates all fucking day. And it most certainly isn't 343's job to protect people online. It is individually our own jobs to protect ourselves on the internet. I just can't imagine stressing over this bullshit. No, 343 didn't add a nameplate for me and all my cousins. This is infinitely worse than when the white men took our land. One day you all are gonna be old as fuck, and when you look back on times like this, you will be like, fuck me, I'm just a stupid bastard. Wasting time making sure a fucking video game validates everyone's identity. Validate yourself. Life is short. Put this energy towards something infinitely more important that's actually tangibly within your life, instead of this pathetic social media outrage. And if you really cared about Hispanics late night, you'd put this energy towards, I don't know, donating to the Hispanic Heritage Foundation? Maybe encourage others to, but no. It's easier to show off just how on the right side of history you are on your Twitter. Tell me I'm wrong. You won't respond to this late night. I know you won't because you're scared. You'll just pretend it doesn't exist because you know I'm right. Because we caught you. Caught you in 4K.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
Should there be a Hispanic themed nameplate? Sure, why not? Should the current lack of one point to some racist agenda by 343? No. You chose. Well, that's enough mayhem for today. In conclusion, it's all well and good to want representation, but to shame people for not making it an absolute priority at all times is just retarded. Make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one.
The sun is rising, most definitely. A new day is coming. Ooh, people are changing.
Yes.
Crystal blue persuasion. Better get ready. Gonna see the light. Love is the answer. That's alright. So don't you give up now. So easy to find.
Man, what a trip.